the hero it deserves.
It is a thin Kevlar weave with reinforced forearm protection. The whole uniform is bulletproof.
I feel safer already.
Watching Batman finally begin is thrilling.
Yeah, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
James Gordon!
Play nice.
No.
How many times has Gotham become a war zone?
You really think Penguin is gonna make this go away?
Penguin's taking over. This is our way back on top.
Who is Ra's al Ghul?
That's what I've been trying to find out.
I'm a Falcone. You want the city back from Penguin? I'll give that to you.
I want them dead.
They're walking into a trap.
I'm all for you protecting the innocent, but I won't have you risking your life over a thief.
Ra's al Ghul, I think you know why I'm here.
It's time you tell me what's going on.
I can't.
Gotham, all new this Thursday.
What is up, everybody? My name is BobaTalks and welcome back to another brand new Gotham Season 4 video, and this is the trailer breakdown to the trailer you just saw, because Fox have just released another trailer for Gotham, and it actually shows some new footage, unlike the last promo. So this one is very interesting. I mean, at the beginning of the trailer, we saw a little bit of stuff we've seen before, but more importantly, we actually saw quite a bit of very exciting teasers that actually answer a few stuff that we were speculating on in previous breakdown. But anyway, guys, as always, before I go ahead and break down this trailer, hit that like button in the corner only if you go on to enjoy this video. And if you just want to stay up to date with this channel and never miss out on a single Gotham video or any of my other DC TV content, be sure to hit that bell button to enable notifications for this channel, and that will just ensure that you never miss out on an upload, so you're always up to date. So the trailer starts off with the stuff we've seen before, with the voiceover of just like, Gotham has finally got the hero it deserves. And, you know, we got the Lucius Fox commentary saying, you know, we got a thin Kevlar weave suit here with reinforced arm protection, you know, and it's bulletproof for rock climbing. So yeah, if you've been sticking around on this channel and you've seen a few of my previous Gotham breakdowns, as I always say this, we have seen this before, so I'm going to kind of skip over this bit so this video isn't super duper long. But yeah, this is essentially just Bruce getting the next version of his proto Batman suit, because before, at the end of season 3, we just had a little bit of the trench coat with a rubbish mask, and then at the beginning of season 4, we've got the trench coat again, but more of a bat cowl fabric mask, and now finally, next episode, we're actually getting Lucius Fox's reinforced Kevlar weave suit with reinforced arm protection. But other than that, we see Bruce take massive Batman leaps, which I'm sure he'll be doing with a cape one day, which will help him glide, and we see Alfred say, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, and this is because with the proto Batman suit that we're getting from Lucius Fox, it comes with like this comlink unit, which we actually see Bruce wear. It's a little silver one. And the thing about this show as well, I've mentioned this before, it is very kind of timeless. It has no sort of firm set in time, so it's, as actually Cameron by Condova said, I believe that's her name, girl who plays Selena Kyle. She said that, you know, for example, in the GCPD, you've got computers, but at the same time, you've got typewriters. Yet again, you've got old, like, Chevy sort of cars from the 70s, but then you've got flip phones. So it's that kind of vibe. So it's what I like about the design. You know, it's very, you know, we've got this really cool proto Batman suit, but yeah, at the same time, we've got like an old kind of microphone set up there, and it's just Gotham, and that's what I love about this show in terms of the design. It's really unique. But moving on to the next part, we've actually seen some of this scene before, but this stuff is brand new. We see Penguin walk into the GCPD from the scenes we've seen before, where he's just like, you know, the GCPD can no longer keep Gotham safe. But in this trailer, we actually see a little bit extra of him going and walking in, saying, hello, James Gordon, because he is there and ready to, you know, basically completely ridicule the GCPD and Jim in front of a whole bunch of press. So that's going to be incredibly funny and kind of you know, there's gonna be a lot of tension to see in this moment. Now, I like how Harvey said play nice to Jim, and he's just like, hell no, because at the end of the day, everyone in the GCPD at the minute in season 4 has seemed to have kind of accepted, you know, this whole licensing for crime thing that Penguin has come up with, and Jim even got a beating because of it. But you know, Jim, his biggest like attribute, which is great, is also his biggest flaw, and that's his compulsion to always do good, even if it means him, you know, being on the brink of death or like getting beaten up or whatever. He will do the right thing no matter what, even if it's to a flaw to the degree, as I said, where he might get beaten, like he did in episode 1 of season 4 by the other fellow GCPD officers. And, you know, even though Harvey says be nice, obviously Jim's gonna say no, because he's like, I'm not putting up with this is ridiculous. How can Penguin keep the city safe? How can this licensing for crime keep everyone safe? Even though it technically has dropped crime a little bit, but it's just, you know, it's such a deluded way of cleaning up the city, as Penguin says. We also get some clips of Jim beating the absolute crap out of this guy in what seems to be a kind of a library. Now, there's not too much to draw out of this. It could just be another person who is using the licensing, Penguin licensing for crime thing, and Jim's just yet again interrupting that and saying, like, at the end of the day, I don't care if you've got a license for crime. I am going to stop you if you're breaking the law, even if you've got that license, because you are breaking the law at the end of the day, and that is against Jim's by-the-books rules. Now, the very next interesting part of the trailer is that we kind of learned something new. Some of you may have guessed this already, but we see Barbara basically talking to Tabitha, and this is most likely the first time they meet after what happened between them at the end of season 3. But the interesting thing we learned from this is that this whole gun thing, this whole gun room, that's all Barbara. Like, she says, you know, Penguin is taking over, and this, what, you know, with the display cabinets, you know, folding back over with all these guns being visible, saying, like, this is the way we come back out on top. And she says we because she wants to come back with Tabitha. Now, as I said, I think she's got a secret agenda, or like something that she's, you know, the audience knows basically is going on, because we can see the scenes with Ra's al Ghul, but Tabitha and Selina won't necessarily know what's going on. But they're going to get back together. I've explained this before, and I'm sure many of you are aware that Selina, Tabitha, and Barbara will be a crew again, or should I say the proto-sirens of Gotham TV show. But it's going to be very interesting to see what Barbara is really up to. But as we see in the next scene, like, Tabitha is, you know, what the hell, like, straight away putting a blade up to her neck, because it's like, wait, what? I killed you, I don't trust you, now you're back. Like, there's something smells fishy here. But I would love for you guys to let me know what you think Barbara is actually up to with Ra's al Ghul. Like, has Ra's al Ghul put her up to something that, you know, she is meant to be doing and undercover with Tabitha and Selina? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But talking of Ra's al Ghul, guys, this is the bit that got me most hyped in the trailer, and I've actually mentioned this in a previous breakdown, is that I thought maybe we might get Ra's al Ghul flashbacks. And the reason why I said that before in a previous video of when we got one of the first looks at Gotham Season 4, of when we saw Ra's al Ghul, like, pulling the blade out in the Lazarus Pit, is because it looked like a kind of flashback scene. We saw that other potential League of Shadows member there, and now in this trailer we're getting this horseman riding by on a cloak, and it seems like back in medieval times, like maybe during the Crusades or something like that. We see like knight kind of armor, we see like helmets that really do resemble the medieval days kind of armor, if you will. Now, guys, honestly, this is just speculation. Obviously, I'm only gathering this from the trailer, but I think this could very well be, considering Ra's al Ghul is such a pivotal point to this season, it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of want to do a little bit of a background as to how he became Ra's al Ghul, how he even discovered the Lazarus Pit, or how he got given the opportunity to use the Lazarus Pit. Maybe there was someone before him who knew about it all. But either way, this looked very incredibly interesting to me. I love background lore stuff like this, so I'm really hoping this is kind of flashback stuff. But let me know if you think this is a flashback or a backstory to how Ra's al Ghul became Ra's al Ghul. Now, towards the end of the trailer, guys, as I'm sure you thought as well, it started getting very incredibly interesting. We see that Jim Gordon himself is on the path, or is on the trail of who the hell is Ra's al Ghul, because we know that he's going to be pulling quite a few tricks this season, like he did with the Alice Tetch virus and everything like that last season, pulling the strings into everything that makes Bruce, and well, just basically the destruction of Gotham and how crazy it's getting. Jim is kind of learning that, wait, there's this new player in town. Well, technically he's been there for a long time, but in Jim's books, there's this guy who is doing quite a lot of this stuff. Who is Ra's al Ghul? But it appears that he's talking to Bruce in this scene, so this is making it very interesting. I want to talk about the whole relationship between Jim and Bruce in a minute, because I have something to say about that, which I'm really not so sure about, but I definitely need to talk about, but when we get to one of the ending scenes of this trailer. So be sure to stick around to that point of the video in a little bit. Now, whether you're a big comic book buff or not, and you know a lot about Ra's al Ghul, or if you don't, at the end of the day, the characters on the show, and even Bruce, still, he's very new to them, and They don't know who this guy is. They don't know what he wants. All they know is that he's been around for a long time, because he explained that to Bruce in the last season, in the last few episodes even, when he went and did what he did to Alfred, and how he's been around for thousands of years, and he's been looking for an heir that whole time, and he, obviously the Lazarus Pit, Bruce knows heals someone and brings them back from death even. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Bruce and Alfred are looking at this book, and it seems to be an ancient-y kind of book, and this is probably what they've acquired throughout the museum episode, I'm sure, because at the end of the day, there's one of these episodes coming up where Bruce befriends this guy at the same age as him. I believe he's called Alex Winthrop, but he gets put in very big danger, but that's because Bruce is seeking something in the museum. Now, I think this book might be related to that episode, but either way, Bruce will find this book, and it actually details, we see like a sort of a floating or like a hovering Ra's al Ghul with that dagger we see him pull out of the Lazarus Pit, but we also see Bruce with this same dagger later on in this trailer. Now, episode 4 is called The Demon's Head, and the synopsis is as follows, and it links to this blade that we keep seeing in this book and in this trailer, so it is as follows. Bruce Wayne puts the lives of Gotham Natural History Museum historian Niles Winthrop and his grandson Alex in danger in an attempt to uncover the meaning behind his prized knife from the auction. Meanwhile, Ra's al Ghul proves he'll take deadly measures to achieve what he wants. Also, with Sofia Falcone in town, she is on a mission to win back Gotham from Penguin. So the reason why I read the synopsis out is kind of fairly obvious. It looks like Bruce might get this dagger from this auction Penguin is hosting, and we've seen, if you look at my previous video, the promo breakdowns, it seems that Bruce attends this whole auction that is going on. But what we know is this is Ra's al Ghul's dagger, so maybe he planted it in this auction, or maybe he wants Bruce to have it, and Bruce, this is why Bruce wants to find out what the hell is with this dagger. But either way, guys, this is very mysterious, and I'd love to know what the hell you think this dagger is all about in the comment section down below. But anyway, we have all of that to look forward to in episode 4, The Demon's Head, which will most likely be a very Ra's al Ghul centered episode, considering it's called The Demon's Head, and this is actually written by Ben McKenzie, so the guy who plays James Gordon, so this is pretty cool. Now, stepping back a little bit from the Blade and Ra's al Ghul and Jim and all that mysterious stuff that is coming to Gotham, we're now taken back to that moment from previous trailers where Bruce is sort of surrounded by those guys who like have him by gunpoint, and then we previously saw in the other trailer that Bruce is using the makeshift flamethrower, and I thought maybe it was like a interrogation technique, because we know Batman can be pretty dark sometimes. You know, if you make Batman ask twice about something, it will just break your wrist or something like that. So I thought maybe this was the beginnings of Bruce being like, you know, don't F with me, I'm here to get something done. But it seems from this angle that Bruce is just using it as a quick sort of thing to distract the guy, and then he's going to grapple out of the place. But no, he just grabs something flammable off the side, and he grabs like the blowtorch, and then he starts using that. So this is a really cool showing of Bruce's quick thinking in moments like this, because, you know, Batman in many of the fights, whether you look at the comics, he has done some unique things that have got him out of situations with really, really quick thinking. So this is awesome to see. It's, you know, it's pretty brutal. I'm sure that guy wouldn't be really burnt at all, but it's just more of like a, holy crap, you know, this is like really distracting, whilst Bruce can use that grapple hook to get out, which is awesome as well. To those of you who haven't seen the previous trailers that I've broken down, but this is the first, like, or the debut of the newbie version of Batman's grapple hook. And now the next bit, Gordon is scoring with the ladies. As I've told you before, Gordon goes to Falcone in Miami, and he actually ends up meeting Falcone's daughter, Sofia Falcone, played by Teen Wolf's Crystal Reed. And I have to say, she is looking very fine here. But anyway, the thing is, they're going to have this sort of dark relationship this season. She is, as I've said in previous videos, quite like her father, more so than Mara ever was. She's like father, like daughter in this case. So she's actually going to help Jim take over, well, not take over, but get Gotham back from Penguin, who has taken over Gotham with all of his ridiculous stuff like the crime licensing, the criminal underworld, and all of that jazz. But here we can see, you can just see the tension between them two. They just want to rip each other's clothes off, I'm sure. And we actually see them kissing in another scene, but one is on Miami Beach, by the looks of it, or some beach in Miami. And then, like, we see them probably back at Gotham, unless Jim's has stayed there overnight at the Falcone household or something like that, but I doubt that. But anyway, we know that Sofia Falcone follows Jim back to Gotham to help Jim get Gotham back from the Penguin. But even though Sofia Falcone's going to be a bit of a help, she's also going to have a few things up her sleeve, kind of like a misunderstood kind of bad guy. So she's not going to be perfectly good. So expect some fishy stuff coming from Crystal Reed's Sofia Falcone. Now, we also get a very quick scene of Penguin doing his famous, you know, rage quit kind of sentence where he's just like, I want them dead. And he's absolutely furious in this moment. Now, this could be a handful of things. Now, I don't necessarily think it's got anything to do with Gordon and Sofia Falcone because that'll be a bit too soon in this episode. They're just, you know, coming back from Miami. And to be honest, this isn't an actual episode breakdown, so this could be showing a couple of episodes. So it could even be from where Riddler is out of ice and, you know, he's just like, I want the people responsible dead, but he's just saying, I want them dead. So at this point, he might know who it actually is. So could it be Ivy? Could it be other people? But either way, in this trailer, we know that Riddler gets out of the ice. And at the end of the day, I can't tell you which episode this is in, but it won't be far in this season. It's going to be in the next couple of episodes or so. Now, the next couple of scenes are very interesting because we see Bruce in his proto-Batman suit from Lucius Fox. Alfred's out there, they're communicating, and Alfred's just like, I don't want you putting your life on the line for that of a thief. And this is because Bruce can see Selina down there. And now, I don't know if at this point in Gotham, if they're actually going to know about each other. I think Bruce might possibly know that Selina is that person down there, but Selina won't know it's actually Bruce in the mask. That'd be a pretty interesting way to play it, rather than them both know about each other. But at the same time, they could actually not know each other, and Bruce might be helping out this person. But I'm kind of confident in the fact that, I mean, at the end of the day, I might be wrong, but Bruce actually might know this is Selina, and the other way round is like Selina won't actually know that this masked vigilante in this new body armor is actually going to be Bruce. But the interesting thing to note is that we know Selina, and we actually see it in here, and she's looking very sort of distraught and like, holy crap about what just happened, is that she's got a mask of her own. Now, I want to know where she got this from, because even though it is, if she didn't get it from Lucius Fox, which I'm incredibly sure that she probably didn't, it's like, I get, you know, the show's designers design the same sort of things, but if they did get it from different people, and if Selina didn't steal it or something from Lucius Fox or something like that, then I feel like the design is a bit too similar. Even though it's, you know, it's not, you know, like Bruce's sort of proto-Batman cowl, it's still like a very similar like eye mask. So I don't know how I feel about that. But at the end of the day, it's still really cool how Bruce is like, at the end of the day, he's gonna help out mini Catwoman here, because she's landing herself in a bit of trouble, stealing whatever she's about to steal from these people with guns. But as I said a minute ago, in this bit here, we see Selina, you know, pulling up a mask, and she's looking absolutely like, oh my god, what just happened? And I'm pretty sure she is that person inside the truck, where we see Bruce, you know, completely combating off all those people with the guns outside the truck in his Batman armor. And this is the moments we see just before this in the trailer. But however, we see that there's somebody in the truck, and that is probably Selina, but we know that there's quite a few bullets going through, so those little circles on the side, they could be the bullet holes. It looks like there's a little bit of blood trickling down as well from that box, so I don't know what exactly is going on here. I don't know if they know about each other being you know, under the masks, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I think in this moment, Selina knows that it was like, oh my god, this could have been me dead. But more importantly, I want to know how she got this mask. Now, they could just put it down to Tabitha or like Barbara somehow whipping it up, but at the end of the day, I feel like the design is a bit similar to, it's not exactly similar to Bruce's in terms of, oh yeah, that looks just like his mask, but in terms of the material and the inspiration for what it looks like, it kind of looks like, oh yeah, Lucius Fox made that for Selina as well, when that's probably not the case. So if that isn't the case, which it most likely isn't, it is a bit weird. They could have made it a bit, you know, more diverse. And in other news of this trailer, guys, it looks like Ghul is kind of going a little bit of an undercover route himself. Now, obviously he can't, I mean, at the end of the day, it would be weird. So I don't know why I'm surprised here, because he wouldn't go round in that little Ghul cloak that he looks like, that he had in last season. In public, so, you know, at the end of the day, that's not really properly surprising. So I guess he would go in sort of some modern attire or something like that, and he looks like somewhat of a professor. It would be very interesting to see if he was like the professor of that library we see Jim beating that guy up. I can imagine him just being something related to that. But at the end of the day, he's just hanging around in the city because he wants to keep an eye on Bruce. He wants to, well, he's like the puppet master, pulling all these strings, and it looks like he's meeting Jim, and he's like, I think you know who I am and why I'm here. Now, at the end of the trailer, some very, very fast shots happen, but we get a look at Mr. Freeze. Now, there's literally no more context in that, but we're getting Mr. Freeze back. It's going to be very interesting to see where he stands on Gotham, who's his actual allegiances are with. Probably still with Penguin. But at the end of the day, it's a very just quick tease that, you know, Mr. Freeze is here but there's literally nothing else to take from this. But I would love to know your thoughts into how you think Mr. Freeze could play in the new season of Gotham. Is he going to be just working for Penguin, or do you think he'll sort of back off a bit and be a bit more independent? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, I'm very happy they showed even more of the transformation of Ivy. Now, if you haven't, as I always keep saying at the minute, seen my previous trailer breakdowns, you'll know that in the Fear trailer breakdown, or maybe even a Dark Band trailer breakdown, or even both, we saw Ivy take this little thing, or one of her potion thingies, or like, you know, that she's created through her plants, that, you know, in previous seasons has made her like seduce men to do whatever she wanted, which is great foreshadowing for a future Poison Ivy self. But in the past couple of trailers, and especially in this one, when she takes this one thing, when she's sort of ducking behind this counter, it seems to be changing her face. Now, I'm really hoping that this is, you know, the leap for her Poison Ivy character, and she really does look, you know, she's all, you know, black-eyed, she's all morphed, looks really like Blood Elfie off Skyrim, if that makes any sense, or from any of the Elder Scrolls games. So I know you might not get that reference, but she looks completely different. Now, I'm hoping they're kind of making it a bit different from the comics, or their own little version. Now, Poison Ivy, without this look, the actress who plays her is very good looking, so they've aged her up. They've made her more good looking like that. But now, like, she hasn't had any more powers apart from what she's made through that plant potion. But now, maybe in the future, and this is what she looks like when she takes this, instead of being really attractive and really beautiful and good looking, when she takes this thing, this is where she goes completely plant morphed and weird and crazy scary. Now, that'd be really cool to see if this is what she takes when she goes absolutely like crazy, or skits, whatever you want to call it. It'd be really interesting to see if this moment here where her face is properly changed is going to be the next step for Poison Ivy on the Gotham TV show. Now, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below, guys, because I am personally very excited to see the fallout of what happens after she takes her latest potion. Now, the ending bit of this trailer, I both love, and I'm not going to say hate, but I'm worried about. Now, at the end of this trailer, we see Jim approach Bruce in this place, which I don't know where it is. It could be the museum that we know that Bruce meets Alex Winthrop, and, you know, a whole lot of stuff happens there. But it looks like it could be any other place. But at the end of the day, the bit I want to focus on is Bruce approaches Jim saying, "It's time you tell me what's going on." Now, I really... there's two ways this could go. Gotham could be doing the thing where, you know, instead of Gordon finding out a little bit later into actual Batman career, where he's meeting up with Batman, he doesn't know who he is, but eventually in most of the stories, he actually finds out that it is Bruce, and, you know, they still maintain a relationship like that. But they could be playing it in Gotham, in their version, in their universe, that Jim actually knows Bruce is going on his path. He knows he's a vigilante, and he eventually maybe doesn't like it at the beginning, but he accepts it, and, you know, eventually. But he knows that it's Bruce Wayne at the end of the day. Now, I really, really don't want that to happen, and this could be the start of that. It's like, it's time you tell me what is going on. And we hear back from Bruce saying that I can't basically tell you. And I really, the thing is, it could be that Jim knows that Bruce is the vigilante this season, and you know, he's gonna know that he's Batman in the future, because there's no way they could take it back if Bruce is the vigilante. Gordon knows about that, and he just assumes Bruce just stops doing it, and then he meets Batman one day, and then he doesn't know that's Bruce. No, if Jim knows that Bruce is the vigilante, like from this moment forth in this scene, then they can't take it back. Batman will be Bruce to Jim from this moment out on the show and in this universe. However, this could just be like a complete misdirect. Trailers do this all the time. It could just be like there's a bit of drama between, you know, Jim, Bruce, Ra's al Ghul. What we know in this trailer is that Bruce is trying to find out more about Ra's al Ghul. Jim is trying to find more about Ra's al Ghul. And then in this moment here, Jim just is finding out that Bruce, you know, is maybe getting a bit closer to it. He shouldn't be here where he is, but that doesn't necessarily pin him at all to being a vigilante. It doesn't mean anything like that. So it's just Jim saying, and this is what I hope, it could just be Jim saying, "It's time you tell me what's going on." But that doesn't mean that he knows he's a vigilante. Like, he's not wearing the armor here, he's just wearing his normal clothes. Nothing gives that part of him away. So I really hope Bruce doesn't let Jim personally in his life like that. I hope he doesn't choose to let Jim know of his secret, because there was a live stream where David Mazouz says it's very interesting to see who Bruce decides to let in on his secret in his, you know, from now on forth into his Batmanhood in this season. So he's going to let, you know, a couple of people outside, obviously Alfred, most likely Lucius Fox, because in 9 out of 10 of all stories Lucius Fox knows as well. But Jim doesn't normally, you know, not until like maybe a bit into like the Batmanhood. But they could, you know, Dovey Masseuse could have been teasing, just like in this trailer, kind of potentially teases that Jim might know about Bruce. And it's going to be a very kind of conflicting thing for Jim to maybe accept, but not wanting to turn in Bruce Wayne as a vigilante. But I'd love to know your thoughts about this scene in the comments below, guys. What we do know is that Bruce has got this dagger. I'm sure that this is, you know, the reason why he's brought that dagger is he's trying to find more out about it, what the hell's going on, and how it's linked and related to Ra's al Ghul. But it looks like Jim is there as well, and he's just like, you need to tell me what the hell is going on. What is going on, Bruce? Because this is just getting crazy now. Who's Ra's al Ghul? What is going on? Now, in the very fast, you know, shots of the trailer towards the end, which actually happened before the moment I just talked about, but I want to know and ask you guys in the type in the comment section down below who you think this is, because this is in the same scene as where we see Jim confront Bruce, saying, you need to tell me what is going on here. So this could be something else could be going on in this moment in the episode. Like, there might be a bit of trouble Bruce runs into there, as well as Jim, like other members, maybe even League of Shadows members. But most importantly, guys, I just want to know who you think this is, and what you think the relationship between Bruce and Jim is going to be like, in terms of, will Jim know if Bruce is aka Proto-Batman? And will he be in on it up until the point he's Batman even? Lastly, guys, I almost forgot to actually put this in the video. We see Riddler out of ice, and it looks like he's actually, probably from what we're seeing here, actually outside the Iceberg Lounge, because it looks like Penguin has actually got a poster up advertising the Iceberg Lounge here. And I do believe these are the first moments, the very first moments where Riddler is out of ice. You can see he's a bit scruffed up, his lips are a bit blue, so this is just how he gets out of it. Corey Michael Smith did say that he would be a bit unhinged after coming out of ice, and a bit scrambled as well. And supposedly, just moments after this, he will be meeting Solomon Grundy, aka Butch, from beforehand, and they are going to ironically be more or less best friends from that moment forth. So this is definitely something to look forward to, guys. So let's get some hype for the Riddler returning. But apart from that, everybody, that is absolutely everything in this trailer, and I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, please hit that like button, as it really does show your support for the channel. And also, if you got this far in the video, type Batarang down in the comment section down below, because only those who do that will be the loyalist. BobaTalks, Boba Battalion, Boba Army, Boba. There's loads of Boba names. I need to think of a name for you guys. But anyway, yeah, type Batarang down in the comment section down below if you got this far in the video. But other than that, guys, if you want to stay a little bit more up to date with me, you can follow me on social media in the links popping up on the screen around here or in the description below. Just click one of them to follow me on the social media of your choice. Also, if you are new to this channel and you like Gotham or any other DC TV content or Marvel content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Stay up to date with everything DC TV related. But apart from that, guys, I think that is everything. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.